On the windswept plains of ancient Greece, legends were born out of blood and betrayal, love and ambition. The story of Troy is more than just the tale of a city's fall. It is a saga woven from a single face, a whispered promise, and the fate sealed within a wooden horse. For centuries, the names Troy, Helen, Achilles, and Hector have echoed through the ages, their deeds immortalized in epic poetry and myth. Today, we journey through this timeless conflict, tracing its origins, its heroes, and its enduring legacy. At the heart of this cataclysm stands a moment of divine rivalry. It begins not on the battlefield, but amidst the gods themselves. Paris, Prince of Troy, was thrust into the center of a celestial contest, a competition of beauty between three goddesses, Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite. Each offered him a tempting bribe. Hera promised power, Athena wisdom and victory. But it was Aphrodite's promise that proved irresistible. She vowed to grant Paris the love of the most beautiful woman in the world. Paris accepted, bestowing the golden apple upon Aphrodite, and with that choice, destiny set its course. Helen, queen of Sparta and wife to King Menelaus, became the prize. Swayed by Aphrodite, Helen abandoned her throne and her husband, fleeing to Troy with Paris. This act of betrayal was more than personal. It shattered alliances and ignited fury across the Greek world. Menelaus, humiliated and enraged, called upon his brother Agamemnon and the greatest heroes of Greece, Odysseus, master of cunning, Achilles, the invincible warrior, and a host of others, united by a solemn oath to defend Helen's honor. Together, they assembled a mighty fleet and sailed to Troy, seeking vengeance and glory. As the siege began, the city of Troy became a crucible for legendary figures. Achilles, son of Peleus and the sea nymph Thetis, strode onto the battlefield as a force of nature. Renowned for his prowess and nearly invulnerable, Achilles embodied Greek heroism and pride. Yet his spirit was as volatile as his sword, his wrath both a weapon and a flaw. Across the city walls stood Hector, eldest son of King Priam, and the heartbeat of Troy. Hector was driven not by pride but by duty, to protect his family, his people, and his city from destruction. The clash of these titans shaped the fate of Troy, but behind every hero stood another, a friend, a brother, a sacrifice. Patroclus, the beloved companion of Achilles, entered the fray when Achilles withdrew from battle, angered by an insult to his honor. Donning Achilles' armor, Patroclus led the Greeks against the Trojans, but met his end at Hector's hands. This loss was more than a death. It was a spark that unleashed the full fury of Achilles. Grief and rage drove him back into battle, culminating in a duel with Hector, where the champion of Troy met his tragic fate. With Hector's death, the city lost its cornerstone, and the shadow of defeat loomed ever closer. Yet brute strength and valor alone could not breach Troy's formidable walls. It was cunning, not force, that would seal Troy's doom. Odysseus, famed for his wit and guile, conceived a plan as audacious as it was deceptive, the creation of a massive wooden horse, hollowed to conceal Greek warriors within. The Greeks feigned retreat, leaving the horse as a supposed offering to the gods, a token of surrender. The Trojans, hopeful and weary, brought the horse inside their gates, believing the long siege had ended at last. But under the cover of night, the hidden Greeks emerged from the belly of the horse. They flung open the gates, allowing the Greek army to pour into the city. Flames engulfed Troy as chaos reigned. The proud city, once unassailable, was reduced to ashes. Survivors were scattered, temples desecrated, and the lineage of Troy fragmented forever. In the aftermath, the cost of victory became painfully clear. Troy was no longer a beacon of power and culture undone by war's cruelty. The Greeks, though triumphant, paid dearly. The homecoming was marred by loss, and the heroes themselves were changed, haunted by what they had witnessed and wrought. The survivors of Troy fled, carrying with them seeds of new stories and civilizations. Among them, Aeneas would journey to distant lands, laying the foundations for future legends. So, what remains of Troy? Beyond the ruins and the relics is a legacy etched into the human spirit, a lesson in honor, cunning, and the bitter price of conflict. The face that launched 1,000 ships became a symbol not only of desire, but of the far-reaching consequences of choice. The wooden horse stands as a testament to ingenuity and the dangers of misplaced trust. Achilles and Hector remind us of the duality of heroism, strength forged by vulnerability, courage tempered by duty. Yet, even as we recount these tales, questions persist. Was Troy truly a city of myth, or did its stones once ring with the cries of real warriors? Did Helen's beauty alone spark a war, or was it merely the catalyst for deeper rivalries and ambitions? The lines between history and legend blur, leaving us to ponder the truth behind the epic. As you reflect on the saga of Troy, consider the stories that endure and the lessons they impart. What is the price of honor? What role does fate play in our choices? And how do cunning and strength shape the world? These questions linger, challenging us to look beyond the surface of myth and seek meaning in the shadows of the past. If you're fascinated by Achilles' rage, Odysseus' cleverness, or Helen's fateful beauty, there is so much more to discover. Join us as we continue to unravel the mysteries of ancient heroes and legendary cities. Subscribe to stay with us on this journey through myth and memory, where every legend has a lesson and every story a spark of truth. The tale of Troy endures, inviting us to ask, is it legend or history? The answer may be as elusive as the city itself, but the journey towards understanding is one we all share.